there's a lot of family members in the business today. Talk
Right.
about how many family members are in the business.
Let's see, it's got to be somewhere around 12, I think.
Okay.
Give or take.
Have you set up like policies to say when somebody can come in? How do how did you make those decisions? How do you decide where do they fit? How do you pay? How does that work in your family?
Yeah, it's funny because my brother's son-in-law, who works for us, graduated from St. John Fisher, and he was very active in their family business program there. And
Carol Littmeyer did a great job over there, still doing a great job there.
And I've been fortunate. He's taken me over to some of the presentations they've had with different family companies that they bring in for those programs. And he's actually brought some ideas to us, that as my dad was a big believer that if a family member wanted to come to work for him, he would hire him, and find a place for him. And sometimes that didn't work out, but most times it did. And and my dad was very good motivator, but he was also a very good judge of people, and recognizing their strengths and where they would fit in. 1988, he had an opening, for director of maintenance at KJ. I was in the business 6-7 years, and actually been working in different part. He told me he wanted me to do that, and I worked in the shop growing up, but I really had no idea how to run it. He gave me a couple of names of people in the industry to reach out to, and get involved in some associations, and so that was the way my dad just sort of develop people and recognize their skills, and and it gave me a great background in the industry. And I did that till 2001 when I went over to Johnson Equipment, which was still a maintenance deal, but I wasn't running the fleet any longer. So we've kind of carried that over. So we really don't have a structure of you have to meet this level. It's more of what are you interested in, and do you understand that this is our family's company and you're part of our family, and with that comes responsibility. And it may not be a responsibility level that everybody is comfortable with, and it's, you have to want to work in our industry, to make it work. And I think what has happened over the years with some of our family members in the next generations is they see it growing up from a distance and don't think it's all that interesting, and it's the trucks are boring, and there's no glamour to it. But they maybe come to work in a summer job when they're in high school, or in my daughter's case, she worked for us part-time while she was going to school locally, and she actually changed her major once she started seeing what we do, and actually got close to some of the people she was working with. So that's it's worked for us. We haven't felt the need to put a formal structure in place. We do meet with them as a separate group. We have a management group within Leonard's, that other than my two brothers and myself, Kevin and Kyle and I, we have their outside managers outside the family, but we also meet with the family members quarterly just to discuss what's going on, bring them up to speed on some of the things we've got working, some of the plans we're making, and to listen to their ideas, and what area of the company are you working in? Are you comfortable there? What path would you like to see yourself go down over the next 5 or 6 years? And, really not necessarily make them uncomfortable on purpose, but make them really stop and think about what their next steps might be if given the opportunity. So we're not trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. We're trying to use their skills and interests, so that they can be contribute in their own way, but still be a part of the family business.
Yeah. What happens, what you're describing by default is written in a book called Every Family's Business. Tom Deans talks about, his family did a few things. One, they always sold the business every generation. And then there were some other things like meeting with the family on at least a quarterly basis. He said at least annually. You guys are doing it quarterly. and you're just having those conversations. You know, what do you see as the SWOT analysis for the company? What do we see? Where do you see the vision versus where do we see the vision? And you're just having some great dialogue. So hats off and congratulations. It's a really testament to how you were able to scale, how you were able to bring family members in. My gut says that if somebody has the responsibility for maintenance, they're getting paid the same as everybody in that division. And if somebody is working in marketing, they're getting paid based just like everybody in marketing is. Yeah,
it's close. I mean, certainly, we take care of family, we try to take care of everybody. It's my mother always believed in equity, she kind of put that sense of treating all her grandchildren equally, just like she treated her children equally, which probably was one of the reasons they were a little bit challenged, with the transitioning to the next generation, which is why, I believe that they sold their first company. But, with this company, they decided to bring in some outside help, and that, that led to where we are today. So that I think we may or may not, look at a little different path
sure.
than they did, but I think it can transition without necessarily selling. But yeah, there has to be a plan, and then that may eventually be the option. But at this point, we've got a much larger group than maybe a few years ago to bring into the conversation.